In this video, we are going to learn about ordering fractions. On the top of the next clean page in your notebook, please write ordering fractions. Our first example asks us to order from least to greatest. If I count the fractions, there are 1, 2, 3 fractions, which means there will be 3 fractions in my answer. So at the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and make 1, 2, 3 blanks, and I know that I'm going to order from least to greatest. When I'm ordering fractions, it's just like comparing fractions, so I'm going to begin by going through my steps. Step 1, look to see if the denominators are the same. My 3 fractions are 3/8, 1/8, and 6/8. All of them have a denominator of 8, so I'm going to go ahead and circle the denominator. Since our denominators are the same, to put these fractions in order from least to greatest, we can just order our numerators from least to greatest. So for our numerators, we have 3, 1, and 6. The smallest would be 1, meaning our smallest fraction would be 1/8. Next, we would have 3/8, making our greatest fraction 6/8. Looking at our next example, it asks us to order from greatest to least. This time there are 1, 2, 3, 4 fractions. So at the bottom, I need to make 1, 2, 3, 4 blanks and remind myself I'm ordering from greatest to least. Remember, when we are ordering fractions, we start just like with comparing fractions at step 1. Step 1, look to see if the denominators are all the same. When I'm looking at my 4 fractions, I see they all have a denominator of 12, so I'll go ahead and circle all of my denominators. When my denominators are the same, I can just look at my numerators and begin to order those. So this time I'm ordering greatest to least, so I'm looking for the greatest. 3, 9, 0, 11. 11 is the greatest, so 11/12 would be my greatest fraction. Of my remaining numerators, 3, 9, and 0. 9 would be the next biggest, 9/12. 3/12, meaning 0/12 is our smallest fraction. Moving to example 3, this time we're going to order from least to greatest. There are 1, 2, 3 fractions, so I'll make 1, 2, 3 blanks and label them L to G. Step 1, look to see if they have the same denominators. So over here I have 3, 12, and 9. Since they do not have the same denominators, we're going to go to step 2. Step 2, look to see if they have the same numerators. They all have a numerator of 2, so I'll go ahead and circle them. Remember that when we are comparing fractions with the same numerator, the fraction with the smaller denominator is actually the larger fraction. We can think about this as we're ordering these fractions. So if we look at the denominators 3, 12, and 9, the fraction with the smallest denominator would be 2/3, meaning this is our greatest fraction. So now we have 2/12 and 2/9 remaining. Again, the numerators are the same, so we want to choose the fraction with the smaller denominator. 9 is smaller than 12, meaning 2/9 is our next largest fraction, leaving 2/12 as our smallest fraction. In our last example, we're going to order from greatest to least. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 fractions, so we'll make 4 blanks, label them greatest to least. Thinking of our steps, step 1, do our fractions have the same denominators? 8, 3, 12, and 9. Since they do not have the same denominators, we're going to go to step 2. Step 2, do the fractions have the same numerators? All of these fractions have a numerator of 4, so I'll go ahead and circle them. Remember that when our fractions have the same numerator, the fraction with the smallest denominator is actually the greatest fraction. So if I look at my denominators, 8, 3, 12, and 9, I want to find the smallest, which would be 3. So 4/3 is actually our greatest fraction. Now I have 8, 12, and 9 left. 8 is the next smallest, meaning it's our next largest fraction of 4/8, then 4/9, and last 4/12.